Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's City Council meeting. The meeting is called to order. I ask the clerk to please take the roll call for the final City Council meeting of 2018.
Bruno.
Here.
Burkhardt.
Here.
Clements.
Here.
Ruby.
Here.
Kilberg.
Here.
Malaja.
Here.
Marks.
Here.
McGowan.
Here.
Radecki.
Here.
Swanson.
Here. We begin our City Council meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight I would like to ask my buddy Michael, who's a student at Wabansie, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Item 4, ladies and gentlemen, amendments to the agenda. Are there any amendments this evening? Item 5 is the omnibus agenda. All items marked with an asterisk are considered to be routine by this council and can be voted upon with one motion. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
The motion is made by Alderman Marks, seconded by Alderman Bruno. Sorry about that, Rich.
That's okay.
You looked very familiar when I said. We have a motion and a second. No questions, no comments. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Bruno.
Aye.
Burkhardt.
Aye.
Clements.
Aye.
Aye.
Kilberg.
Aye.
Malaja.
Aye.
Marks.
Aye.
McGowan.
Aye.
Radecki.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item 5 passes unanimously. We skip to item number 10, municipal bills for payment. We kindly ask our city clerk to please read the bills in their aggregate for our consideration.
Bills for payment total $4,304,693.88.
I move that we approve and pay the bills as read. The individual items that add up to that amount can be found in tonight's packet on the city website.
A motion by Alderman Bruno to pay the bills as presented, which are also available on the city's website and in our council packets this evening, is seconded by Alderman McGowan. Any questions or comments regarding the bills as presented? Seeing none, hearing none, Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Bruno.
Aye.
Burkhardt.
Aye.
Clements.
Aye.
Ruby.
Aye.
Kilberg.
Aye.
Malaja.
Aye.
Marks.
Aye.
McGowan.
Aye.
Radecki.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Item 10 passes unanimously. Committee of the whole items of business have all been considered under the consent agenda. We skip down to item number 12, which there are none. Item 13, new business and public comment. Anyone from the audience? Any comments or questions? Curiosities for the benefit of the council and the community? Yes. Please, welcome. I know.
So I'm Madeline Roth, 520 Ray Street, Geneva, and I just have some information I want to share with the hope of putting some stories to rest. My house and property at 520 Ray Street, southwest corner of Ray and Route 31, is not on the National Register. You can Google Wikipedia, Kane County, Illinois National Register. There is a link to all the Kane County Register properties with photos. Mine is not on it. I've talked to the Illinois Historic Preservation Agency in Springfield, Rachel Lebowitz, the director, about my house. Was it on the register without my knowing it? Could this possibly be? I have an email from her. In her email, she says she's never heard of my house, that it was not on the register, and it couldn't be without my knowledge because I would have to apply for it. This was more than a year ago. I also talked to Teresa Haish at Chicago Title Insurance in Geneva, and she told me that if an individual property was on the National Register, it wouldn't show up on your title because it's not considered a lien. And I also want to be very clear that my house is the Robert Fauntleroy house, not the Zimmerman house. The Zimmerman house is next door to me at 1210 South Batavia Avenue, owned today by Paul Duke, and was landscaped by Jens Jensen 3 times in the 1920s. The plans are on file at the Bentley Historical Library in Ann Arbor, and no way could this be my house and yard. The Zimmerman House was built in 1906 by T.S. Fauntleroy, and then on his death it was left to his daughter Catherine Zimmerman. She was an avid gardener and hired Jensen. There is still evidence today of Jensen's trademark council ring in Paul Duke's front yard. The Zimmerman House is the house with all the tulips on Fargo. My house was built in 1907 by Robert Fauntleroy, the son of T.S. and brother of Catherine Zimmerman. Robert and his wife lived in the house until the mid-1920s when they sold it to his brother Gordon and Dorothy Fauntleroy. In 1993, upon Dorothy's death, it went to Dort Fauntleroy, who sold it to us. So I'm sort of belaboring this, but I just want to make a point that my house is not the Zimmerman house. My house's property was not landscaped by Jens Jensen. I have a letter from esteemed Jensen expert Robert Greasy of Ann Arbor, Michigan, who says it's not Jensen. I have a write-up by Michael Lambert, who agrees with Greasy that this is not Jensen, and further adds that landscape historian Julia Bachrach of Chicago agrees with Robert Greasy's evaluation too. And I also want to say that my house's architect was Todd Hetherington of Chicago. Michael Lambert discovered this information for me. Michael even corresponded with the grandson of Hetherington, who is an architect living in Hawaii with relatives in Hinsdale. Hetherington designed a previous house for the Fauntleroys in Chicago prior to the family moving to Geneva at the beginning of the 20th century. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Roth. Anyone else? Any comments or questions for the benefit of the council or community? Anyone from the dais? Any new business? Alderman Bruno?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to wish the council and the public Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Alderman Radecki?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, maybe for everybody tuning in for the council, when will our next meeting be regularly scheduled, Stephanie?
Yeah.
So our next regularly scheduled meeting will be January 7th.
Woohoo!
So it is a city council meeting. The plan there is to present an overview of the budget.
Very good. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mark, seconded by that guy. Do you wish to show off your sweater, Mike? And what time is that due back? Well, yeah, thank you, Clark. Yeah, okay. Takes courage and something. Yeah, well, this meeting is adjourned, ladies and gentlemen, by all of you saying aye to adjourn. Aye. Anyone objection? Nope. Thank you, folks.